Hey guys, welcome to the episode of Old Reader, New Reader. So you can see that we have a special guest today. We've got Melanie, astonishing Melanie. Also, Omar's drunk. So
No, not legally.
I'm joining because it's his birthday month.
Yes.
And because he needs a babysitter.
And then I'll give you my opinion.
So, everyone, if you've not watched Old Reader, New Reader before, last year we decided to do. Why am I talking like that? Do I sound that slow all the time?
Last year we decided to do
I'm looking at the special guest.
the Dark Phoenix Saga.
The Dark Phoenix Saga,
Oh, okay.
right? And
Omar was also drunk during that show as well.
Also drunk last year when I did that. And Maddie and Amanda destroyed the Dark Phoenix Saga, right? So pretty much we can't do this episode without Amanda. So
hi everyone.
So I assume the ratio just went up to how many people will end up loving the story, because now there's 4 of us, right? And odds are only one of us may not enjoy the story. So, we got a super chat already. So ready for Drunk Omar. No one's ever ready. They say they are, but they're not. So we have two special guests with us. We have the astonishing Melanie, the amazing Amanda,
Yep.
Uncanny Omar, Wonder Maddie. Yeah. How's everybody doing?
Omar's having fun.
I'm having a good time.
All right.
Good thing I didn't let you start at 6 o'clock.
That's
You're
right.
like, get started. I'm like, that's
started.
2 hours away.
Yes, it's true.
Golly. Okay.
The OK Omar. Already banning
The
people from
OK.
the chat. What does that mean? Omar sounds more baked than drunk. That's because that's how Latinos are, man. We just, that's how we party. Amanda, we missed you.
Thank you. I miss you guys too. Thank you, Nathaniel. Hello, Philip.
Oh,
Did you
Philip
see him?
Evans from the
Yeah,
chat?
he's on here.
Yeah.
He saw me. I sent him a really rad Paul Rudd meme the other day. I think he appreciated it.
Hello.
Fabulous ladies. Let's get down from X-Men. All right, thank you, Philip. Wow.
Hey. And later
Thanks,
on,
Jesse.
Super Chat, can I tell them Drunk Omar stories?
No, you're not allowed to tell us anything. God.
I'll tell it anyway. You don't have to Super Chat.
I'll be surprised if we make it through this.
I did it last year. I can do it again. Good to see you, Amanda. Hi, guys. Maddie representing DC. Washington, D.C. is her favorite place to go. That's right.
So
Eiffel
we
Tower.
read X-Men from the
Ashes.
This is Uncanny X-Men by Claremont. This is issues
168 to 135. I got you.
168 to 175.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can I do before? Can I do like what happened previously on X-Men?
Sure.
Thank you. Previously on X-Men. That's how I've always wanted to do that. That's it. The X-Men were fighting on a ship with the Brood. Storm got infected. Professor X got infected. His body died. And then they were like, wait, we have this technology. We will clone his body and make him a new body, right?
Yeah.
We'll put the soul and essence in there.
You mean that's not his original body he's in now?
No.
Okay.
I mean, who is these days in Marvel? So
Kitty Pryde.
in the meantime, Professor X made a new team called the New Mutants while the X-Men were up in space, right? Because he was like, oh, damn, man, they died. That sucks. I'm going to make this new team. We'll call them New Mutants. Not that original, but it's kind of funny because that's what Stan Lee wanted to call the X-Men. He wanted to call them mutants, but it didn't happen, right? It's not funny. That really happened.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the book.
Oh, okay.
Kitty Pryde. I'm sorry.
So that's kind of where we are. The X-Men come back from space. They meet the New Mutants.
Yep.
And Professor X is like, Kitty Pryde, it's too dangerous for you to be an X-Man. We're going to put you in the New Mutants. And Kitty Pryde is like, nope, not going to happen. And that's where it kicks off. By the way, issue 168 is my very first X-Men comic book ever. It's my very first American comic book ever, so it means a lot to me. And, oh, wait a minute.
Which one is?
It is?
Yes.
So what'd you think about Xavier? Because, it's not like he comes across.
Well, keep in mind, I also didn't read English, too.
Okay, there
I
you
was just
go.
looking at pictures. So here we go.
Tim. Okay.
I really like that picture. That's pretty sexy.
Yeah, I do.
So
Kitty Pryde became my favorite character throughout this entire
Oh, see, there
storyline.
okay, awesome.
you go. Yeah.
So we're kicking off with 168. Of
Aw,
course, the
Matthew.
Well,
most.
and I love that. It's so iconic, right? That Professor Xavier is a jerk. It's
Yes,
so
I
iconic.
know.
It's so
I
good.
think I'll perler bead it. You want a big perler bead more?
Do it.
No, I don't. I don't like it that much. But yes, you're absolutely right. You've seen cosplays of people doing this. You've seen some. Thank you so much, Matthew. By the way, I got your
Thank
picture.
you,
Oh, your picture's really good, Matthew.
Yeah, my wife was saying that it was a really pretty Wolverine.
Pretty Wolverine, pretty boy Wolverine. I like it.
So it kicks off with the, Professor Xavier's a jerk. And why is she saying that, Maddie?
Because Professor Xavier won't let her into X-Men. So a lot of this, like the beginning, it's more of this kind of like slice of life sort of deal, right? A little bit with Kitty being like, I'm going to show him. I'll prove him I can join the X-Men, right? She keeps like annoying him and just kind of like trying to. She does all these different tactics, like annoying him.
She tries to butter him up. I like that. She's like, "You handsome, strong, wonderful person."
Right.
And
didn't know he was
back.
Let's see.
All that really
I
matters is
don't know
Pryde.
what I'd do without you.
Yep.
So that's what she's trying after she talked to Stevie, right? Like she's
Yes,
doing
giving
different
her
tactics.
suggestions because she was about ready to give up and she was getting frustrated.
Poor Kitty Pryde. And in the meantime, one of the things that's happening too is like, Cyclops is moving on. Cyclops is like, well, Jean's been dead for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for me. Now him and Lee Forrester kind of kicked it off early on, right after Jean died. But now they're kind of chilling. He's visiting her and he's saying honestly, he's kind of like just tying loose ends. He's like, yeah, it's I think I'm still in love with Jean. It's time to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, also Wolverine is packing. Why is Wolverine packing, Maddie? What did we read a couple months ago?
You sound like a teacher.
Yeah, I know. I was like, is this a reading comprehension class that we're involved in right now?
What do you mean Wolverine packing?
No, but you're nice. You don't want to take over the
Because he's going to Japan.
Oh, you mean like that? I was like, packing?
Yeah,
with
that's
the
what he's
gun?
talking about. See?
What are you talking
He's
about?
always packing the guns. I mean, what's he physically packing, Maddie?
He's always
Good
packing
stuff.
heat.
For his wedding.
Oh, let's talk about the art real quick. And we will always talk about the art towards the end of the review.
Oh, sorry.
But this is the infamous Paul Smith. So before this, it was Dave Cockrum was drawing X-Men, and then he ended up leaving. It was Dave Cockrum's second go-around. He is the guy that did Giant Size X-Men. And then Paul Smith came in. Now, it's weird because a lot of people, including myself, consider Paul Smith one of the greatest X-Men artists ever. But he only literally did like 10 issues, and that's it. He did 10 issues of X-Men, and then he left. And to a lot of people, including myself, he became one of the best artists on X-Men to have ever graced the pages of Uncanny. So, yeah, where were we? What was I talking about?
Sorry.
Well, you were talking about Scott Summers moving on,
Yeah,
Wolverine,
Wolverine's taking off in his own limited
and then we got
series.
Storm, who's returned
Yep, Storm's
from
back.
where I don't know because I didn't read anything prior to this, so I don't know where she came back from. So if you could explain that real quick.
They were just chilling. They all came back from space, remember?
Okay, they all came back from
They all
space.
came back
Okay.
from space. So this leaves us with one of the biggest cliffhangers, right? It didn't mean anything to me when I was a kid when I had this comic book, but it left us with this cliffhanger, right? Scott's
Yes.
like, trying to get over the death of Jean. And then this woman named Madeline Pryor was like, hi, I work for your grandfather and grandmother. By the way, I totally look like your dead ex-girlfriend. And
Yeah.
like, what? Dude, that's total. Like, he's hanging out with Corsair, his father, and Havoc, his brother. And obviously he's like, that is freaking Jean Grey. She's back. What's happening? And that's kind of the cliffhanger.
Yeah,
One of the things I left out, by the way,
If I died and you saw like a clone
is
of me-
Lockheed. Yes, thank you.
what?
Oh, sorry.
What?
if I died and you saw somebody like a clone of me, what would you do?
I don't probably go hit on her. I don't know,
Oh, you're
right?
so sweet. Thank you.
So yes, it's justified that Scott went to go hit on Madeline Pryor, right? She looks like Jean, except she's got short hair. So yeah, we're also introduced to the character. I'm pointing over here like everybody can see. There we go. We're also introduced to Lockheed,
My favorite character also.
who is the
Aw.
character that came into the picture like with their adventures in space. Of course, they drug down some bad things, but yes, Lockheed now joins Kitty Pryde on her adventures. Philip Evans, we're not talking about what Scott ended up doing with Maddie. That's for another episode because yes, that was
Yeah.
so. It kind of is where
Yeah, it
that
is,
ends
wow.
where 168 ends, right? Oh, besides
Yes.
amazing kitty costumes that
That-
kids created.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's unique.
Right. So
Gotcha.
moving on, we've got, Wolverine in his own miniseries, and Maddie and I did an overview of that or a review of that,
Yeah.
where he's fighting for his girl,
Mariko.
Mariko. Mhm.
Merrick. Yeah.
Mariko.
Ends up, thank you,
Mariko.
Maddie. That's right. And ends up killing her father, right? To take
Yeah.
leadership of that side of the family. So the next thing we see is issue 169, where the X-Men are joined or have to go down to the tunnels,
Whoa.
but we'll skip a little bit of that and go here.
Yeah.
Right. So the X-Men go down to the Morlock tunnels.
That's
This is the first
intense.
time that the Morlocks are introduced. We've seen
Yeah.
Caliban before, but this
Hmm.
is the first time that the X-Men are introduced to these Morlocks. These Morlocks are living underground, kind of
Yep.
like H.G. Wells, which is what they're named after, right? And they've kidnapped Angel. For I don't think they ever explained why, other than the fact
She was
that
wasn't she
pretty.
gonna marry him, Callisto?
Yeah, she's obsessed with him.
she
Yeah,
was.
she-
She wanted to marry him because
with
she
how
was the
pretty
leader.
he was.
Yes, I mean he is quite gorgeous.
We got a good question here tonight. Wild Quadcast tonight. Amanda's back. How are you? Maddie, what's up? And
What's
Mr.
up?
and Mrs. X, you're Mrs. X.
Thanks.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's cool. How are you doing, Lionheart?
Yeah.
Good.
I just got done with CrossFit,
Oh,
so I'm like super sweaty and feeling great, guys.
We didn't do CrossFit. I ate at Subway though. I feel healthy.
We went to karate.
Okay, right.
I bought a fish.
I am drinking cranberry
fish.
juice with a twist of lime, so I'm semi-healthy tonight. But this is the big.
Ooh, come on, and man, that's spoilers. I haven't read past this. I don't know what's gonna happen to Angel.
This is true. But and also kind of precedes a lot of the things that end up happening to Angel, like especially during the Mutant Massacre. But yeah, this is the big like, Scott's falling in love with Madeline, right? Out of nowhere, him and Maddie are going out on a date. Like it seems like you've missed some things in between, but him and Maddie are going out on a date, and he's totally macking on his grandparents' pilot because that's what she is at the time. That's all he knows. Other than the fact that he's like, she looks exactly like Jean Grey. That's all he knows about this woman.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of interesting how, and honestly, I mean, she died in issue 137, right? And we're now on issue 169. So it's been quite some time in comic book time.
Yeah.
In X-Men time or in Marvel time, it's been about a year or so.
Are you looking at the Marvel app? What are you looking at? That's what.
So
somebody was
with
asking.
the
Sir,
Comixology app, Comixology, you can download the files. And now I'm looking at CDL. I don't own the files, but I do own the omnibus though, and this omnibus is going to be reprinted sometime. No, not sometime. This October, this omnibus is going to be reprinted. So there you go. But yeah, the file can, I think when you have Comixology, you can download it. Chris Croissant, love this guy. He never makes it to our live chats. What's up, man?
Oh, I remember him.
He's been around for a long time. Great guy.
Yeah. And to Freddie's point, it is very confusing every time we call Maddie, because I keep thinking you're talking about our Maddie, and I'm like, no, it's Madeline
They don't
Pryor.
even
Could we just call her
Maddie
Madeline
in the
Pryor?
comic. They only call her Madeline.
They call her Madeline because she's
I can guarantee.
this is the 80s.
I can guarantee that Maddie is not a Cyclops kind of gal. Almost, right? She would not go for Cyclops. But anyway, this whole story Yeah, it takes place in the Morlock tunnels. The X-Men are trying to rescue Angel, one of their friends. Storm is having issues like controlling her power. She's like, what's wrong with me? What's going
She's got a lot
on?
of issues.
Kitty Pryde makes a pact with Caliban, which will later come into play, much later, about 10 issues later or so, where she's like, if you let me go, I will come back and marry you. And eventually Storm fights. Oh my gosh. Paul Smith's artwork.
Storm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This fight with Callisto. Just this reminds me of a manga, how easy it is to follow.
Right.
Like how, oh my God, I love this part.
Yeah.
Or she just, stabs Callisto and just walks away. Doesn't even know, like, did I kill her? Doesn't care. She just walks away.
That's not good self-defense. You should know. That person's going to get up and stab you in the back.
All right.
Come on, Storm.
Melanie, this isn't real life. This is X-Men. Calm down. And this is also the issue where Cyclops reveals to Madeline that he is a mutant by shooting a nickel or a quarter, whatever.
And she's extremely understanding.
She's like, yeah, all right.
She's like, okay, good.
Then we have Rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was excited to see her.
Issue, right? This is the issue where Rogue joins the team, and she has a fight with
Wow, that stuff happens.
with Binary. By the way,
This is an extremely insane storyline.
Yeah, because this is after she's taken Binary's powers, and she's been a villain before this. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
So she first
entry point.
appeared in Avengers Annual number 10, and then she came back in Uncanny X-Men to fight Carol. So she's always been part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, right? She's only had a couple of appearances. But this is the issue where she was like, I need some help controlling my powers. I need to join the X-Men.
yeah.
And odds are the X-Men aren't going to take me in. By the way, I always use this. When Maddie and Amanda joined Near Mint Condition, I wrote, hope you survive the experience, because that's what they said to Kitty Pryde on her first appearance, when she first appeared, and that's what they said to Rogue. So yeah, welcome to the X-Men, Rogue. Hope you survive the experience. This is the one issue that's drawn by Walter Simonson, not Paul Smith.
This is badass. I forget we're just walking away and not using good self-defense skills.
Well, this is the issue where
badass.
she's like, I'm gonna take control of the Morlocks. I'm gonna be the leader of the Morlocks.
She's got Callisto's jacket.
Oh yeah, not only that, but
Well, yeah, because this is the beginning. Not really the beginning, but throughout this whole thing, she's really trying to work on her style, and also kind of I think tapping into herself again too. Because she's definitely really trying out some new stuff.
Yeah, she is.
yes, absolutely.
New hairstyles. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, this is a big issue. But like I said, this is a Walter Simonson issue. She wins the battle with Callisto. Rogue ends up joining the team against everybody's will except for Professor X. Professor X is like, look, we took Wolverine in, right? We can take Wolverine. It's fun, guys.
It's fun.
Binary didn't like it, but then again, she's not an X-Men, so what does it matter?
Right? So then we get to 172, which is, do you remember this, Maddie? This was the ending of the Wolverine miniseries before.
That's when I got to this point, I got confused because I was like, wait a second, I've read this, and then I remembered.
That's right. The ending of the Wolverine miniseries, issue 4, is this little invitation to Wolverine and Mariko's wedding. And hey, Elf, don't forget the beer. The most important part.
Yeah.
I love that Wolverine is in Japan and he's telling Nightcrawler, bring the beer.
Hey, in I can't remember which title, but the one that happened last year, he tells
House of X and Powers of X?
Yeah. Wait, is it Kitty or is it Nightcrawler? One of them. It was Kitty. Did you bring it? And it was a whole cooler of beer.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was Nightcrawler. Well,
it's House of X.
Close enough.
And they have a good moment. So this is, this is the big wedding of Wolverine with Mariko, or maybe not getting there yet, right? Wolverine is like, what's she doing here? Talking about Rogue, and then eventually they have a team up, against the Silver Samurai, Yukio, all these characters that appeared during his miniseries now are playing a pivotal role in this issue right here. So I'm trying to think. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to the next issue. Because this issue right here, this is pretty much a Wolverine solo story with Rogue, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a Wolverine Rogue story where Wolverine and Rogue are the only ones that are immune to this poison by the green hair.
Viper.
Yeah.
Lady Viper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Teaming up with the Silver Samurai to poison all the X-Men. And by the way, Brian Meenan, yes, love this cover. So this is really cool. I showed him this earlier. This is also a cover to like when they did the classic X-Men run. Adam Hughes did a cover. This one here.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a take on that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So it's like Wolverine behind Rogue instead of Rogue behind Wolverine.
Oh,
by
that's
Paul
neat.
Smith. Yeah. But
He's still got those legs, though.
right.
Michael Edmund was like, must have been a leg day for Wolverine in the
Oh,
gym.
yeah.
And he's not wrong.
Okay, that's what we're going with. Okay, yeah.
I'm just trying to
Uh,
throw Michael a bone here.
Okay, Michael, that's right. Yeah, Wolverine always does leg day because he's
Oh,
always
yeah.
around, right?
He's a
He
stocky
has to make up
dude,
for his
you know?
stature.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're short and stout. Man, what about this fight with Silver Samurai? Oh my gosh. Just no words, just nothing but pure adrenaline action. Like Wolverine's like, his sword can't cut my bones. I got this. It still hurts, right? But man, look at that. So badass. And of course, the ending.
Yes.
The ending where Mariko's just running into some stranger, and the stranger's like, wait a minute, let me manipulate you. real
Yeah.
quick."
Random.
Yeah.
Storm coming in with a new do after hanging out with Yukio. And Kitty Pryde's reaction. How could you?
I know.
Even as a kid, I'm like, why is
How
she so upset?
Could you?
Why is Kitty Pryde so upset?
Well, I'm sure for Kitty is like, this beautiful feminine like
It's true.
icon for her and role model,
You
right?
did really freak out when I chopped all my hair off. Same.
True.
Okay,
Yeah,
well then
okay.
at heart I am Kitty Pryde and
I
not
guess
Wolverine.
because that's you right there.
I did not run
You're
away
like-
crying.
You
no,
said,
no.
how could you?
No, I did not say that. Melanie,
What?
we're not having this conversation on there. So yes, the wedding is totally denied. Wolverine is like, what? Why? Because she's like, you're not worthy. And none of that made any sense to me as a kid. So then we're taken to this issue 174, which is the prelude to everything that's going on.
Yes.
Where Sarah's still asking Cyclops to come on board. He's like, hey, man, come with me with the Starjammers. We're really frisky and cool up here. And Cyclops is like,
Frisky and
maybe, but I really like the girl. And guess what? We just got engaged. And she's like, things are moving too fast, but I dig it.
Yeah, right? How does she know all this about me? And yet it feels like we've only just met.
Right? Because the whole time, like, both of them are like, I feel like we just met, but we've known each other forever. And Cyclops is like, I know Phoenix means reincarnation, but maybe this is a brand new girl that just happens to look like my old girlfriend.
Yes.
Purely coincidence.
Yeah.
Right? In the meantime, this is where Binary, Carol Danvers, by the way, tries to say deuces to Earth, and she's like, I'm out. You X-Men can go and have fun with your Rogue and going on space adventures with these guys knowing it's the Starjammers. Professor X is still working out, trying to like get his legs walking.
Yeah.
And Yolandra's like, oh, honey, it's not
Let me kiss you again.
physical. It's all mental. And he's like, well, maybe it's physical. And she's like, well, maybe it is. This all leads up to X-Men 200, which something big happens there. And speaking of big, oh man, what about this moment? Oh
yeah, Kitty and Peter, and they were adorable.
She's 14 years old at the time. She realized she's old enough to kiss this guy. It's 18. Who cares? She ends up kissing Colossus, and Colossus is all like, what? Kitty, how could you? Why would you do that? I'm so embarrassed.
And then she realized she could phase him through things. And
Right,
that's a big deal.
That's a big deal because this is showing her advancing her powers.
Yep.
Showing that she could carry somebody, but he's losing focus because he's like, why did she kiss me? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. By the way, I do have to mention the cute relationship between Amanda Sefton and Nightcrawler, which will come into play much later on.
Yes, I like them too.
This guy right here, this priest, messing with Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. Look, so this is 174, right? He has proposed to her, and she said yes. Behind the scenes. If this was an event these days, they would have made this a 5-issue limited series.
Right.
Just on the whole plane where he proposes to her.
Right now, it's like it was off screen, and he's still like, maybe she's Phoenix, maybe she's messing with me.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And then it all comes to play when you see that, right? Where is that finger? You see that picture down at the bottom. You're like, oh, this douchebag again.
Yeah.
And that's old Jason Wingard from the Dark Phoenix.
Mastermind.
And you know who that is. So, oh, by the way, one of my favorite panels ever of any X-Men comic is that very top one.
Yeah.
Maddie just punches Cyclops. Because he's like, are you Phoenix? Are you Jean Grey? Tell me the
She's
truth.
like, how?
I
She's
still
like,
wanna be
fuck
with you.
you.
Yes, Madeline, my glasses, my optic glass, blah 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 blah.
Right. Okay. So
I'm blind. I'm helpless.
And it is funny that you say that. He's like, I'm blind, I'm helpless, because in the next issue he totally owns, which is so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
For him, he should.
So yes, it leaves with the cliffhanger of like, you know,
Jean Grey. She's
time
back.
to talk is over, lover. I am Jean Grey. Psych,
Da, da, da.
psych, bitches. Dark Phoenix is back, and you're like, oh shit, Dark Phoenix is back. But
Weird. But how? That was my big.
So
Okay.
175, the final issue of From the Ashes, which, you know, Storm has seen signs of the Dark Phoenix. She's like, oh, I wasn't just hallucinating in Japan. It really was the Phoenix.
Yep.
And, you know, actually, out of all of them, Wolverine was playing it really cool because he was like, yeah, it could be her. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was going to get married, so
Yeah.
it's going to play it cool.
He's still hurting over that.
Well, I know, but
So-
you don't make a big deal out of it. And
This
You
is
get married.
during the time when, yes, like Cyclops was being messed with with Mastermind. Mastermind is still messing with all the X-Men, including Professor X. So he takes out Professor X. And yes, everybody now sees the Phoenix instead of Cyclops. By the way, this is the final issue with Paul Smith. Half of the issues drawn by Paul Smith. Half of the issues drawn by the new artist, John Romita Jr. So here we have some, oh my gosh, Paul Smith artwork. Dude. Right? She is fighting all the X-Men, taking them out one by one.
The next one, when Wolverine, she's like, "You want care to try your luck?" And he said, "Nope, I'm not fighting."
She already fought Wolverine. So, yes, there you go. By the way, the final issue of, yes, From the Ashes is 175. 176 is the first full-on issue of John Romita Jr.'s art.
Mhm.
So the X-Men are trying to communicate with everybody. They're like, hey, the Dark Phoenix is back. And Corsairs like, oh, shit, we know. Yeah, she came up here. And they get killed. And then they're like, we got to call the Avengers. And then Captain America
Gets killed.
Storm. She's like, yeah, man, I had you on speed dial. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, Phoenix already, oh, shit. And he dies. And you're like, as a kid, I'm like, I didn't know any better. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
The freaking Avengers. This is amazing. And as a grown man and a guy that's been reading a lot of comic books for a long time, I'm like, yeah, right. Gee, I don't know freaking Captain America. They've got movies. Chris hasn't signed the deal. So this is where like the X-Men see Cyclops as Phoenix. This is one of my favorite parts because one by one he takes out the X-Men using his leadership brain. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take out Colossus like this. I'm gonna program the Danger Room. I'm gonna take out Nightcrawler. I'm gonna take out Storm. I'm gonna take out Wolverine. One by one, he's doing this while Mastermind is still messing with Jean. Now, keep in mind, at the end of the Dark Phoenix saga, that's why he wants vengeance, right? Because Dark Phoenix was like Jason Wingard. I'm gonna make you kind of like the Lord of the Cosmos. I'm going to give
Yeah.
you godlike understanding of the universe. And it's impossible for a human mind to understand the cosmos. And oh man. And it turns out that it was all illusion.
Yep, every bit of it.
Everything, every bit of it, except with the exception of Madeline Pryor, because she is a real person, as far as
With an uncanny resemblance.
with an uncanny resemblance
Uncanny resemblance.
to Jean Grey. And you know, and then we get to see Mastermind like, oh, I was this guy in Japan. Psych, bitches. I was the priest on the plane. Psych again. And then he's like, oh, Cyclops. And then Madeline's like, oh, Cyclops, I love you. I was like, wait a minute.
How did she not realize this?
But it's obviously
So dumb.
I know. I was like, why would she think it's actually
The
him?
minute he changed it in front of her face, like, oh, it's you, girl.
Yeah.
Dude, what about Cyclops wearing that mask? How relative is that to today's?
Why is he wearing the mask?
Because he's up in such a high altitude,
Oh, is it
trying
helping
to
him
fight
breathe?
storms. Yeah, he's helping him
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah.
So he takes out Storm, he takes out Rogue, but he uses Rogue, which is a new member of the X-Men. So
Yeah.
that's how quickly Cyclops was thinking on his feet
Yep.
to absorb Professor X's powers, to read his thoughts, to make everybody think, hey guys, I am not the Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix is all part of Mastermind's ploy, and he's still using this illusion. And then eventually, Mastermind loses the fight.
Mhm.
Wolverine takes him out, and he's like, I want to kill this guy. But Storm's like, no, don't kill him. Even though just a few issues earlier, she was like all about killing the villain, including
Yeah.
Orso. So I thought that was really cool. And probably one of my favorite moments in any X-Men comic is this moment right here. When Scott goes to Jean Grey's grave and he's like, we had something wonderful. We had something special. And, you know, but I love Maddie now. And you're gone. And I want to have a life with her. Like it kind of reminds me of Maison Ikoku, like when Godai goes to the grave and visits Kyoko. No one's gonna get that. Never mind. But it's like,
Can we talk about a section in this wedding?
what's that?
There's a panel in this wedding that confused me.
Which
I
one?
don't understand what you're saying.
Which one?
When you first see when she's walking down the aisle.
She has blonde hair.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, all right, guys.
No, and here it's red.
Yeah. So when you buy the omnibus,
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, it's red.
Okay, well, not in
when
our
you buy
copy.
the omnibus, it's been recolored and restored.
Okay.
In the original comic book, it was blonde, and that's called a color slip, right? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
If you don't know what a color slip is or not.
I think we understand.
But
the
I
concept.
think you understand the concept. It's kind of like the Janet Jackson slip of the.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. But yes, that's what it's like. Yes,
Okay.
accidentally colored. Yes.
Yeah, because I was like, what am I missing? I was like, is the deeper message? Is she not?
Actually, even a redhead, or I thought she just dyed her hair. She's like, then I won't look as much like Jean
that's
Grey
what
if I dye it blonde.
No, she totally is a redhead. Then you've got Banshee and Moira. Whoa, awesome. Then you've got Nightcrawler, and Amanda Sefton, and Professor X and Lilandra, and you've got Kitty and Pete looking at each other all sweet
Aw.
minutes in, and Wolverine looking like, damn,
He looks like I love his grumpy man face. I
And-
could have had love like that.
And you got Carol Danvers, but I love you, Wolverine. Wolverine's like, I'm Miss Mariko. And that's so sad. And then the finale, of course.
Yes, I like that.
With Cyclops marrying Madeline Pryor. It was all a ruse. It was not the return of the Dark Phoenix.
Yes, I did feel
It was-
bamboozled.
Bamboozled. And we'll stop sharing. Bam, back at us. Here we go.
Because I really thought, I was like, oh, so this is going to be the return, right? But it turned out, I guess it was a return in some regards for a lot of the characters, just like almost, back to themselves in a way, but, or, reincarnation of themselves, but not of her.
Chris, this is all because of you. You suggested, hey, how about you guys show some of the artwork? And I thought about that. So if it's available on the Comixology app, you can download them as files, and I have a CDL app to read those files. So if we can do that, we will be more than happy to do this. However, some books are not available on the Comixology app. Thank you so much for suggesting that. It's all because of you. Now, yeah, let's talk a little bit about this book because we've read Dark Phoenix, right?
Mhm.
And
It was much better than Dark Phoenix.
Oh
okay,
yeah.
okay, I like that. I like where this is going so far. Because I think, to me, one of the reasons I picked From the Ashes is because it's really, I remember talking to Maddie about this a couple months ago, was like, it's really hard to understand some of these characters because you pick story arcs, right? And story arcs don't really focus on everyday life. Story arcs are usually like, holy shit, Magneto's invading the X-Mansion. What are we going to do next? Instead of like, I don't know, Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler shopping at the freaking back, right? And getting character development out of that.
They'd shop at the Banana Republic.
They would not not shop at the Banana Republic.
Kitty Pryde reads Star Wars comics.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get everyday life like what you would out of the in-between issues. And that's what you miss out of doing story arcs. So I was like, okay, I think From the Ashes shows a lot of like character development and also has an overall arc, which is your full thinking into, oh shit, Dark Phoenix is back. Oh man, she's been manipulating everyone, including Mariko, and then it turns out to be Mastermind, right?
Yes.
So,
I do agree with Derek. The X-Men acting like family is one of the biggest things I love about the characters. Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Derek gets it.
Because when you turn to like the next page and it's them playing like baseball.
The iconic thing for X-Men to do. That's the last thing I say. Joe Chip, you make a good point.
Well, yeah. Give me your drink.
This is X-Men, woman. All right.
Back.
So you'll come.
It is his favorite.
It is
Yeah.
my
Birthday. It's his birthday.
My birthday is not until this Saturday. All right, let's go round table discussion right now. Melanie's gonna fill up that thing. What did you ladies think about this drink? Fuck.
The book.
Okay, the book. I enjoyed it much more than I did Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
I thought the women in it were much stronger this time around for some reason.
For real.
There was much more agency in all of the female characters, so I appreciated that.
Okay.
And like I said, I think Kitty might be my favorite character. Her and Lockheed out of the whole
I love Kitty.
story. Lockheed's adorable, and he's going to be in the New Mutants movie, so I'm excited to see how they designed him.
What? You know way more than I do about that new music. Let's review it. All right, but in all seriousness, let's stay on this.
Yes.
Overall, like, did you get a better understanding of like X-Men as a soap opera and less of like, this story is supposed to be epic, but I don't get it?
I do, because in this one, there's definitely more of the different relationships between the characters. So you got to see, even though you say you don't get to see their daily lives, but in this one, I really thought I did get to see more of the little itty bitty parts of their daily lives, like the little cuts of Kitty trying to help Charles just so that she could get back on the team, and her and Peter, and like, so all those little things I think really helped. Some reason I don't care that much about Xavier and Lalandra's relationship, but I don't know why, but it's fine. Just because I don't know much about it, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
But regardless, I felt that you could really see the relationships more in this one. And maybe that's because they weren't all focused on just Jean Grey. And maybe that's why they were all focused on a lot more things. That whole arc kind of just happened right at the end of the From the Ashes storyline.
Okay, fair enough. Maddie, what do you have to add?
Yeah, this felt more in line with like the kind of X-Men stories I like. I like this a lot better, and like a lot of that's because of the reasons that you said, which them like the mix of the overall story and like the action, them doing stuff as well as just the kind of daily life to life things. Like I feel like we really got to spend more time with characters, and that's what I like about these characters. It's like people say earlier, like the whole family dynamic of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I like this a lot more. It felt more like when I was watching the cartoon because it's kind of X-Men that I like.
Yeah, I agree.
This felt more like the X-Men fan fiction I would read. And plus, we have Kitty. Kitty's part of the crew now, and so is Rogue. And I always feel happier when I have them because they're my two favorites. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if we started rating it or yet or not.
Oh, have we?
No, not yet. Because
Okay.
you know me, I like to prolong things.
He wants to wait for his eyes to be 3/4 closed before he does.
He wants to wait for his head to hit the table, and then we can all rate it when he's like,
No, I like where this conversation was going.
yeah, because we're a lot positive, more positive.
Ripped my heart out there like dark skinny.
And also, I hate Jean Grey. She wasn't here.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. She's just not a girl. Yes.
I like Jean Grey. I like certain iterations of her.
Either
but
way.
over, like 80% of the time, I don't like Jean.
Yeah, she's not one of those.
And she wasn't here.
Okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. We got Malin Pryor back now. She's
does he? It's fine. She's fine. She's a pilot or whatever.
pilot. Yeah, so I picked the storyline on purpose because I was like, should we go to the Mutant Massacre? Because I don't think if we go to the Mutant Massacre, that's going to be another epic storyline, and you're going to really miss out on those little key moments that makes X-Men great to me. And honestly, From the Ashes is not really known as one of the greatest storylines, but to me, it's great because it showcases all these different things. Like, if you think in the span of the issue, you have only 168 to 175. Holy
that was a lot
shit.
that happened.
So much shit happened. We're introduced to the Morlocks. Wolverine and Mariko are like, nope, not getting married. We're introduced to a new character. Kitty Pryde has maybe the chance of being kicked out and going to join the New Mutants, but no. Professor X is like, you know what? You got yourself a little pet dragon. You're back on the team. Welcome back.
She proved herself, too, during that whole scenario. It wasn't just that.
Yeah, thank you for liking Freddie's comment because I wanted to also agree with him.
Okay, that you guys.
No, I do not agree with Freddie Alonso or Maddie.
I love her. I hate Jean normally. I love Time Displaced Jean. I think she's great. I would even cosplay her. That's what
Contain the bourbon.
Contain the bourbon.
Thanks,
that's the quote for tonight. I gotta contain the bourbon. Wait, there's another one up here about Hickman. Hickman replaced baseball's team bonding with drinking parties and orgies, which is ironic, right? Because Wolverine, they took out the beer and the smoking to make it more
still drinking,
family friendly, and
the best.
I'm saying, but now, there's no baseball. It's a huge party.
So there's this whole thing.
Welcome to 2020.
Well, I mean, there's this whole thing online with like Cyclops, Jean, and
oh god,
right? All three of them
so many fanfics.
Not even fanfics, just like people like, oh no, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
And it's so weird because I'm like Wolverine #1 dude, and I'm like, sure, whatever. I'm okay with that. The guy's lived over 100 years. Let him party a bit.
How heated of argument have you seen Armageddon with someone talking about comics, X-Men specifically? No,
not really. I can contain myself unless Matt Thompson's around.
Really an argument. You just sensitive and defensive if you don't like.
No.
Amanda would agree with me. You get very sensitive about X-Men.
You do.
Very sensitive,
and also fangirly too, especially when you met Chris Claremont.
Well, I don't see sex. I don't see male or female, so I don't know what Amanda's talking about.
Wow. Okay.
You acted to Chris Claremont how I acted when I met Tom Holland. You were like,
I would not let go of Chris Claremont.
Yeah, you wouldn't let him leave.
I would be like, Chris Claremont, can you adopt me?
Yeah.
I'll be your Cyclops or your Wolvie, whatever. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
You know what that means.
That's weird.
I think you know what that means.
Oh, yeah, that's weird. Is Hoxbox the last beer Wolvie?
I ship it now.
Yeah, it's so strange, right? Like Wolverine giving a beer to Silver Samurai.
That's how great of a world it is now.
It's so yeah.
Or then.
I can't handle that name, Silver Samurai, because I can only think of Silver Samurai from Phoenix Wright. It confuses me every time. And then I hear his theme song.
Omar, how does it always end up like this on your birthday?
See him on his actual birthday, though.
Yeah. My birthday's on Saturday.
Because we love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason.
He's not as bad tonight as he was last year.
Yeah.
Last year was pretty bad, but his friends took him out. That's why.
And let me tell you, no more tequila or he'll end up on the couch with only socks on at 6 a.m. Say, what am I doing? Where are my clothes? I say, go back to sleep.
Why?
After what I did to his wife, we can't do tequila anymore.
Oh, yeah, I shared tequila. Oh.
Hi.
Hey. How are my kids doing?
That face is good.
Okay. Good night.
No, I'm not leaving yet.
All right, you.
Oh, it's adorable.
I'm asking you.
My kid is not putting herself to bed.
Last year's video was glorious. Thank you, Tim.
It was, especially when me and Maddie were shitting on that all the time.
You guys, that story was awesome.
No, it was not. This is so much better.
I love that a month later I was interviewing Chris Claremont about the Dark Phoenix Saga, and I was like, these two just read Dark Phoenix Saga. But I didn't say they hated it.
Yeah, to be fair, I pretended I liked it for his sake because it's Chris Claremont.
It's Chris Claremont.
I wasn't going to be mean to him.
Omar is a lightweight drinker. Dude, what? No, I'm not.
I think he's been starting for a while.
Come on over to my house, Brian. We'll talk about X-Men and have some drinks. It's what we do.
Why did?
So,
anyway, but yeah.
Have you here tonight? Because it's been a while since you've joined us. You haven't joined me for some.
I'll be right back. Our daughter's taking a shower, and I don't know why.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't find the mouse. Oh shit! There.
Oh yeah, can we rate this quick before you start in all that?
Yeah. Wait.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, because okay.
What would you give this book out of 10? This wonderful, beautiful, not omnibus, but from the Ashes storyline. What would you rate this out of 10? Keep in mind it's my birthday month.
He's doing the same shoes last year.
Yeah.
I will always use it.
Did we go back to our last one and see what we gave it?
I don't want to talk about the last one.
Okay. Yeah, and that was to be nice.
Sorry, coronavirus. I'm just kidding. I don't have that.
Don't do that, Amanda.
I know. I'm sorry. I have it. Okay, I would give this a 8 out of 10. I think it was a solid.
Okay.
I think it was a solid story. I enjoyed the overall arc and all the little stories in between. And yeah, so 8 out of 10.
I'll give it a 7.
7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Philip Evans, an 8 out of 10. Yes, if you've read this, please feel free to rate it. I'm going to give this an 9 out of 10. I love Paul Smith's artwork. I think it's wonderful.
The artwork is beautiful, especially during a lot of the action sequences. I particularly enjoyed that.
You get a lot of character growth, kind of hinting at some more with the character of Kitty Pryde. And Storm, right? You have a character that's kind of
and I feel like Kitty changes costumes a lot, or is it just me?
Oh no, she did.
Like she was a very fashionable X-Men. She was always in a new costume.
Yeah, she's a fashionable lady.
I was like, wait, that's not the same costume she had in the last issue. What's going on?
Hey, Nod, that's the boost talking, of course. It's the boost talking. More okay, sober Omar would have gotten it 8.
No, Larry, we've not been Stockholmed. I truly did enjoy this a lot more than Dark Phoenix. And I only gave myself like 2 days to read the whole thing because my life is insane right now. But I still was much faster getting through it than
oh my gosh, yes.
Dark Phoenix was so rough.
Right? She went from Kitty Pryde to Sprite. And back this. Oh, and she's about
Just
to
doesn't-
Shadow Cat. Yeah, man. There's so many memorable moments. Omar's voice gets higher the more drunk he gets.
It does.
Does it now? Yeah, I guess it does. I never really noticed because I don't really go on YouTube when I'm drinking. It's not bad for a new reader. This is a 1983 story.
That's
But, I mean, honestly, some stories are just timeless, though, right? So I think an 8 and a 7 and a
number.
9 and a sober 8, pretty good. What would you give this?
Well, I just flipped through. I don't think I give it a fair. Not enough everyday life stuff for my tastes. I give it a 8.
Oh, okay, there we go. On par. I
You want the
think we
extra
have a
to,
good.
like, go to J.C. Penney's and return some stock? What do you want out of a book?
They were playing baseball in the next issue.
Well, that's the annual. And they're always playing baseball in a Claremont issue.
I appreciate some pausing moments, some breathing time in between action.
Yeah.
Like in Berserk. Then I'm reading a volume a day.
Well, I mean, there is some in here.
Yeah. 8.
Okay, 8. Okay. So you have an 8, an 8, 7, a drunken 9,
But
and a
you
sober 8. This is a really good story.
Oh, you're saying if
Oh, I think that we have a good average then. I think we're really on par here.
Yeah.
We're-
On average,
all of our
we're
expectations were met.
on average it's a 10.
On average,
that's,
it's a
that's
10
not
out
how
of
math
10
goes. No.
story.
Well, it's good enough.
Let's see. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Joe Chip, 8 out of 10.
Good job.
Give them
Oh, I'm saying good job. Good job on your score, Joe.
The Claremont runs 94 to 200 will never be beaten. Classic story wise, so many. Oh my god! No, right? No.
Somebody said you should cosplay as Chris Claremont.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
That's so weird. Like, especially if I went up to him, like, I love you so
I
much.
think it'd be great.
Can I have your
I do
skin?
too.
Can I have your clothes?
Can I wear your skin? Lionheart gives
Maybe
it.
don't say that.
Maybe I won't. I will never say that to Chris Claremont. An average 10 out of 10. This show is about comics, not math. 9 out of 10 from Lionheart. Yes. So
Jordan. Oh, just go ahead.
no.
I would say Jordan had a question that's not related to any of this right now.
All right, Jordan.
But still
who's the
Marvel.
worst Fantastic Four movie, and what advice would you give Marvel on how to make a good one?
Oh, I like your icon.
I'll tell you, the worst one is the
Yeah.
newest one that came out in 2015. 2015? Is that when that one came out?
I haven't seen any of them, so I'm still
I think
good.
the worst
Never
one is
seen
that current one. I
any?
couldn't even pay attention to it. And I think the problem is it's a deal with chemistry is a big part of it.
I will say that
And-
the rise of the Silver Surfer might have been the worst one.
You
And-
like the other one better with, what's his name, Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan?
but I love Michael B. Jordan.
That
So-
doesn't matter. I like
well,
Ian Griffold, but I don't think
Amanda, you didn't like the Dark Phoenix saga.
Are you going to use that?
yeah.
Throw it at her.
I also didn't like the movie either.
I am going, and also did not like the movie. So yeah, actually all of them have been pretty horrible. But the worst one, well, here's how I judge it. I fell asleep through the second one, The Rise of the Silver Surfer. I was in the movie theater and I fell asleep on a date. Not you. No, not you. But I fell asleep and it was just so bad. But at least I stayed
Amanda,
awake.
I think you have a good point. You need some casting, a good casting
Yes.
director that can get some chemistry
Yes,
going.
because the first one they put let's face it, they put Jessica Alba in there because she was she was one of the things at the time. Even Michael Chiklis but he was a good thing, but he was very popular. And then Chris Evans was an up and coming heartthrob, and Ian Griffold,
It's not a child.
it's okay, honey.
I feel like I need
Anyways,
to explain.
That's why they put those people in that movie. And then they tried to make it edgier with the new series by putting younger people in there. But again, then they made it strange and dark. And I've read Fantastic Four, and some of my favorite ones just aren't really that. So, yeah.
Okay,
That's
that's
the
what
issue.
you're saying. Maddie, you haven't seen a single Fantastic Four movie?
I
Like,
guess you're not missing much.
not even the Roger Corman one. Like, not even.
No.
Okay.
I think I avoid them on purpose.
Well, perhaps Disney will do a better job
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
yeah,
when they make them.
you go to hell, Matthew.
Wow.
Actually, I thought Michael's comment is what you were going to say.
Omar watches shows, falls asleep, and I'm like, your eyes are closed, you're breathing slowly.
Why are you doing
And then
this?
you're like,
Why are
oh
you-
yeah, I know what's happening. And he does. And I'm like, what the heck?
Because osmosis.
Osmosis?
Yeah,
You
osmosis.
using your ass?
Yes. Chris Evans was the best thing about those Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, I agree 100%. I love him.
No, wait a minute. What about what's his name? As the
Okay, Chickless was good as the thing.
No, the voice of the Silver Surfer, the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. One of my favorite actors from freaking
Is he the voice of the Silver Surfer?
Life on the
Who?
Street. Homicide.
Wait, who?
Life on the Street. Who was?
Oh, the one who plays their chief.
Yeah.
Ah, shoot. I can't remember his name.
I like my phone.
He Andre Boffman. Thank you.
Andre, yes. Mm-hmm.
Hey, is he Sandberg?
Andy Samberg. Yes, Michael Emmon. Samberg. Yes.
Oh, that would have made Silver Surfer so much better. For me. Just for me. No one else.
Oh.
Just for me.
Have you guys done this before? Because I'm sure, Maddie, you love Rat Queens, don't you?
I've only read the first volume. I've wanted to read the rest, but I haven't.
Good. Have you read it, Amanda?
I have it, but I've never read it.
Yeah, you would like it.
I have a ton of comics I have yet to read.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the old reader.
I will.
I like
fall
Old Mar.
asleep.
Old Mar. Ooh,
Old
this
That
Mar.
is good.
Okay, first of all, Michael, don't do
Old
that.
Mar.
No, don't do that, Michael. Why would you do that?
But I'm,
Right, I'm gonna have to jump off. I've got to take my car into the shop in the early morning, so
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
I gotta be an old person go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, before you go, Maddie, where can people find you?
You can find me on our social media at Nearby Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hit us up there. You know,
Okay.
comment below later if you watch this. Tell us what you thought about X-Men from the Ashes. By the way, you can find us this time next week. We'll be reviewing Justice League Tower of Babel.
Thank you, Maddie. You remembered.
I had to make a list.
Awesome. Yeah. Justice League Tower of Babel.
Yeah. So
We don't have a MySpace, Michael.
Who has Is MySpace still exist?
I don't know. Maddie.
Is it a thing?
rid of it.
No, I don't think it does. Maddie, you please have a good night.
I will.
Okay, be careful out there.
You got
No, Joe.
I just read that.
Yeah.
it.
Night, Maddie.
Bye, Maddie.
Bye, Maddie. Whoa, and then there were 3.
Let me get rid of this.
Yep. But I'm gonna have to jump off here
Yeah, it's 9
because
o'clock.
my life is just insane right now, guys. For those who haven't been following me on social media or seen the last couple episodes me and Omar have done live,
Yeah.
um,
What's the next one you're doing live? What are we doing live?
I don't know. Well, I think we've talked about reviewing New Mutants because, as far as I know, they plan on releasing that bad boy in April, beginning of April. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
we
we're
want to
reviewing-
definitely want to review that with you. So we'll definitely do that.
All right. So then we will definitely review what we made New Mutants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. New Mutants. Then we got to review Black Widow, Matt.
We got it.
Amanda.
Nope. Okay. Yeah,
Amanda.
Amanda.
I picked myself up. I know what I'm doing. Amanda. And then you got to come back to Old Reader. New Reader
You're gonna
sometime
hit me.
to do.
Yes, I do want to come back.
We'll pick some storylines for you to come back to.
That sounds good.
Rat Queens, it's a good read. It's simple. It's easy.
I have it. It's
I
one
really
on my list to read too.
It won't take long at all.
Yeah.
Oversized hardcover, man. Oversized hardcover for that answer. But yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah. Yeah, Amanda, it's so good to see you. We haven't seen
Good to
you
see
for
you.
almost a year.
I mean, well, you technically saw me this weekend, but yes, everyone else has not.
Let's not
seen
get
me.
pregnant. Let's not get pregnant.
Yes, it's been a minute since I've been on Old Reader, New Reader, but I'm glad to be back to celebrate Omar's birthday.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, which I'll celebrate again this weekend.
Which we'll celebrate again this weekend.
Yep.
There might be some pictures.
Because Amanda's good at making games.
Yep, and I'll probably post pictures on my social media because I always do.
You better post a picture.
So
from
if
the
you
action.
Omar-centric, right? Omar-centric, 80s music,
X-Men,
comics, X-Men.
What else? What else? What else?
Yes.
Transformers. What else? What else do you know about me?
Documentaries.
What do
Really creepy, horrible, evil documentaries. That's an idea for a trivia thing.
There you go.
He watches it to protect us so that he knows what other people are doing.
Chris Croissant says, nice to see Amanda again.
Yes,
Melanie's
it's nice to see you guys too. Omar, Lionheart, or not Lionheart, Justin, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. If you know what that number is, you know how old Omar will be turning.
Yep, 25.
Yep.
25.
For Life Universe
So
and everything.
what is
25.
a good gift to get Omar for his birthday?
DQ Blizzard. Dairy Queen gift cards.
Yeah, put it in the chat, guys. I didn't know what I need to get him for his birthday.
Have you seen those Japanese sex bots? Just no.
No. Yes,
Wow.
I have seen those.
It got quiet.
We
I've
watched
seen
the
it.
documentary. At least I watched half of it.
It got quiet when I asked that question. Okay, I'll take a Blizzard. A Blizzard. Yeah, that's almost as good. That's
Is Dairy
almost
Queen
good.
across the nation?
I'm sure.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay.
You guys make me
And I always know where
thirsty.
your towel is.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Yes, that is
And
what we do.
Always know where
The
to tell
party,
us.
everyone will dress on a towel. How about that? DickTowels.com.
Towels nuts.
Towels. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you, man. Everyone, yes, please, people, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Amanda, will you please join us back again sometime?
Yes, I will join you guys back sometime. And if you want to follow my CrossFit adventures on my Instagram, that's at Lass of Georgetown. I'm into CrossFit now, guys, because I love to work out. And
Could you
I will be.
CrossFit?
Can I cosplay CrossFit?
CrossFit, yeah.
Yeah, I can. It's real easy.
That's not an outfit that you can like move in.
Yes. So, and you want me to sign us off?
Oh, I mean, if you want to, Amanda, you did create the goddamn thing to begin with. Sign us off, Amanda. Here we go. Look.
I know. Okay, Philip. Okay.
Philip Evans, okay? All right.
Ready,
man.
guys?
Are you sure you can do this?
If you keep talking to me, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. All right. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and remember to subscribe to Near Mint Condition for more wonderful content. Remember to follow us on all of our social media channels. And don't forget, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Have a good evening, everyone, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Omar.
It's not my birthday yet, but it will be.
Okay, well, everyone.